hopefully this one will be out before 2022. Hey Aficionados, Sean here, and it's time for another top 10 list, this time for my favorite beers that I reviewed in 2020, which was a very crappy year for a lot of reasons, for a lot of people, including myself. But the one little bright spot in terms of 2020, at least for me, was the beers that I was able to try, the beers that were put out. There were a lot of good ones. I was able to review a lot of good beers. But for this list, I'm going to try and do it quick. I don't have notes or anything. I just have basically just a list written out here. Same rules as previous years apply. I'm only doing one entry per brewery. And if it's been on the list before, it can't make it again. I'm not doing any honorable mentions this year. Let's just jump into it. All right, so coming in at number 10, we have Anchorage Brewing Company. It's the first time they've been on this list, and it's with their Medusa double IPA. This one is brewed with 10 different hops, and I think if it's not the first double IPA that I tried from them or hoppy beer that I tried from them, it's one of the first ones that I tried from them, and I was really impressed by it. Especially, I've had so many hazy IPAs over the last year, and the fact that this one was like a standout for me, it says a lot. Just like the fruitiness, the flavor that this one had, it was memorable, and I got a lot of Anchorage reviews coming up, including some more hoppy beers, but also some barrel-aged beers that I'm really looking forward to. So might see Anchorage creeping up on this list again in the future. All right, coming in at number 9, we have Drekker, which is another brewery that has not made this list before, and it's with their Raspberry Strawberry Lime Brains. It's a smoothie-style sour, and I actually reviewed it in like a little head-to-head tasting with a few other sours in that same series from them, and this was like the standout for me of the 4 that I tried. They're all really good, and almost every sour that I've had in Drekker's Brain series, and just in general, they've all been really fun, really interesting, and for the most part, really, really good. But this one is my favorite of the sours that I've had from Drekker so far. It literally just kind of tastes like a Skittles sour. It's super fun and super memorable. Now at number 8, we have Moonraker, which I think it's the first time they've made this list too, but surprisingly it is not with an IPA. It's with their Deafening Silence. So this one is an Imperial Stout. It's brewed with cocoa nibs, vanilla, and orange zest, and it's been aged in bourbon barrels for 18 months. I was really blown away by this one. It's the best sort of orange chocolate barrel-aged kind of stout that I've ever had. Like even comparing it to something like Goose Island's Bourbon County Midnight Orange, which I reviewed a couple years ago. Like this is what I was hoping that beer was going to be. Like this beer even blows that one out of the water. And I like that one too, but this one's incredible. And the fact that it's like even low on this list, it's not even really a testament to that beer. It's just a testament to like how strong this year's list is. Like it's crazy to me that this is even at 8, but there's some really good beers coming up. Coming in at number 7, we have Magnify. I think this is like the 3rd time they've made this list, which makes sense. Like I'm really close to the brewery, so I get a lot of their beers, so it would make sense that they'd make this list pretty often. But it's the second year in a row that they've made it on with like a fun, interesting sour, and this year they're making it with Halloween Pastry Proof. This one is a smoothie style sour. It's brewed with tangerine, prickly pear, peach gummy rings, and watermelon gummies. Obviously this was brewed for Halloween, and it was like a perfect Halloween beer. It tastes like candy, it tastes like gummies. It tastes like, I think I said this in the review, it tastes like that sort of Tropicana or brisk watermelon strawberry drink, the one that's like pink and comes in the bottles. It's really fun. It's one of my favorite sours that they put out, and they put out a lot of great sours. Like if they didn't make it with this one, they were going to make it with one of the trade proofs that I reviewed. So if you have access to Magnify, definitely check out any of their trade proofs or pastry proofs. They're all fun beers. Now at number 6. This is another beer that kind of surprises me how low it is on this list, just because, again, this list this year is so strong, but I loved this beer so much when I tried it. This is Founders with their KBS Maple Mackinac Fudge. It is basically KBS, but brewed with Mackinac Fudge coffee and maple syrup. And that version of coffee that they use in this one, that Mackinac Fudge coffee, just like brings it up to the next level. This is my favorite KBS variant. I really love this one. Like I picked up more after I tried the initial 4-pack that I bought, and I'm going to age some. Like this to me is like the KBS variant to try. Like I don't even see any reason to pick up regular KBS or the espresso or any of the other variants anymore after trying this one. It's really good. It's maybe my favorite barrel-aged beer from Founders. At number 5, we have another brewery that I live pretty close to, so I get to try a lot of their beers. They make really awesome hazy IPAs. It's the second year they've made this list. It's District 96, and it's with their mother of all photobombs. Again, District 96, they make awesome, juicy, hazy IPAs, and their photobomb series of IPAs in particular, they're all worth checking out. But this is probably my favorite of that series. Super juicy. I love it. And District 96 in general, if you have a chance to visit there, it's worth it because their burger loft that's in their brewery, which is like a restaurant that's in their brewery, they make awesome food too. It's a little bit of a tangent here, but they make awesome burgers. They make awesome wings. Like, that place is worth checking out if you are in the area in New York, in New City, New York is where they're located. So if you like hazy IPAs and cheeseburgers, check out District 96 and Burger Loft. At number 4, we have Hudson Valley Brewery, and I think they've made this list before. I'm not sure, but this is my favorite beer that I've had from them to this point. This is Ambio. It is a sour, and it's brewed with raspberry, lychee, and coconut. It's like the perfect blend of fruits, honestly. Like, all three of those fruits together work so well. I love all three of those fruits individually, and when you like put them together, it's just a perfect blend. It's literally my favorite sour from Hudson Valley so far, and that says a lot because they make incredible sours. Like, not only some of the best sours in New York State, just like some of the best sours in the country and the world. Like, they're really, really good, and they are worth checking out. At number 3, it's Treehouse, and it was either going to be Juice Machine or Very Hazy. That's not really a surprise, but for me, it's going to be Very Hazy. Very Hazy is incredible. Like, it deserves all the hype. Treehouse deserves all the hype, even though people make fun of them for not quite being as good as they were in Monson or whatever. They're still putting out some really, really awesome hazy IPA and still putting out some of the best IPAs and some of the best beers on the planet. At number 2, we have a brewery that is no stranger to this list. They make it almost every year. Arguably not craft, but it's Goose Island. It's Bourbon County, but this time it is their anniversary Bourbon County. So this one, I was lucky enough to be able to scoop during the 2020 release of it. It is aged in 12-year Weller barrels, and it was aged in those barrels for 2 years. And it's maybe my favorite Bourbon County that I've had to this point. Just the barrel flavor is just so amplified and so there. It's so bourbon forward. I love that. It doesn't cover up the base beer too much either, but I just love how flavorful this one is, how complex it is. It's got the best bourbon flavor of any Bourbon County that I had. I loved it so much that I made it a point to go out and hunt down some Weller's 12-year after I tried this one. And at number 1, we have a new brewery to this list, and that's because they're a new brewery. This is Fidens Brewing Company out of my home region, the capital region of New York State. They're in Albany or Colony, depends on where you see it. They're kind of like right on the border of Albany and Colony, and they're getting a lot of hype for a reason. But they're making this list with double dry hopped Jasper. So this is a double dry hop version of their Jasper IPA. It is 100% citra hopped. It's incredible. Like, it reminded me of early Treehouse, like Monson Treehouse. The creaminess, the fruitiness, the mouthfeel, everything about this was on point. And the same can be said about a lot of the IPAs that Fidens is putting out right now. Like I said, the hype for them is real. They deserve to be in the conversation for putting out some of the best hoppy beers on the planet, because they are. Before we go, you knew I had to ask you guys this. What were some of your favorite beers in 2020? And what were some of your favorite breweries in 2020? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, drink responsibly and passionately. And as always, thank you for watching.